How's it served you, this COVID?
I probably had it, I probably had it mid-March. It was interesting. It felt quite benevolent, actually. I sort of spoke with the spirit of the virus, and I felt quite euphoric. It felt like a benevolent force. It was kind of like, the angel of death, but not to me.
Very well.
So I was on very good terms with it.
Yeah. How do you feel that you reached that state of awareness whereby did you experience any fear at all?
No.
How do you reach a fearless state in life?
Now that was a lifetime's undertaking of mine, and in the end, I was face to face with. I had my personal Armageddon. All the forces of darkness and light, the angels and demons, went to war in my psyche, basically.
Personal thing.
Yeah, my personal Armageddon. And this went on for about a year, and fortunately for me, the good guys won.
What sort of feelings did you experience in that?
It was an avalanche of fear and inspiration.
Bliss and pain in the same.
Yeah. So that was it. The angels were giving me inspiration, the demons were giving me fear, and it was an absolute avalanche.
I
was quite mad.
What do you mean you were quite mad? Quite clearly are. Wonderfully mad.
All the best people are.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Did it come in waves like it did for me? Sometimes pain, sometimes fear, sometimes what? And then a surge of...
Well, you name it, I got it really. At one time, I was in Morocco at one point in this odyssey, and I went into the park, and all around was radiating malevolence at me. Everything, every bush, every tree, and I stood there and I thought, you've got to face this down. If you buy this, you're done for, and I faced it, and I faced it down, so it's quite biblical, really, like these Old Testament blokes, like they go into the desert, and the devil tries to do for them, and they face it down.
It's interesting that I'm interested in this facing it down. I think there's a message behind this facing and facing it down. Would you say that you were? To me, down is from the sky to the earth.
Well, no, all right.
Faced
it out, then, if you like.
Okay, I wonder. Yeah, I just intrigued.
I just stood there, stayed centered, and just looked at it. I didn't try and avoid it or run or escape in any way. Although it was a hopeless situation. I was totally immersed in demonic forces. I simply let it be.
No turning away.
Yeah.
And what happened in the park?
Well, I just went to go in the park after breakfast, just for, and it just came over me.
What resulted in that? So you faced it.
That was just one element in a long saga, for instance, where you said, how do you overcome fear? That was your question.
Yeah.
And that was like one element.
Mm-hmm.
But the mass of it is so enormous, you see. And I came to the conclusion that it's not just about sorting yourself out. You're sorting out the energy field at large. There's no way. See, I started this game when I was a teenager. There's no way that a child can take on this volume of crap. It's impossible. So because you think, well, you know, like a couple of years and I will have cleared this. Well, if it really was just your personal stuff from your childhood, that would be true. But no, it's like that was 50 years, 50 years of endeavour, you see. Well, you know, you think like that mystic up the mountain, that prophet and that, it is universally held in past times that he was working for mankind at large, not just for himself. He wasn't just giving himself, you know, lovely psychic experiences up there. He was bringing he was taking the sins of the world upon himself, kind of and giving the angelic forces of heaven down to the earth, you see. And that was pretty much believed by everybody, and that's why, you know, the common people footed the bill for these people to do this, you see.
Feed them with the... I get a sense that we entertain ourselves in this game that you call it. We face our personal dark night of the soul, you might call it, and then there's levels of vitality that are within the system that give us the choice and the chance and the capability to then shine more light on an issue, whether it's within or external, or maybe they relate to each other, or almost certainly they do. But by doing the very fearless works, we're actually able to do more work, and it's kind of like a sort of constant exchange of empowering oneself to take on more of the old traumas of the collective and transcend and watch the collective grow around us and enjoy that. Does that resonate?
Well, you kind of get, you see, for me now, like the energies that I deal, I mean, you know, at first the energies that arise in me were personal, you know, like traumas and shock horror, and I thought I'd have flashbacks and all kinds of psychosomatic problems that resulted from that. But now they're completely impersonal and abstract. I am, you know, the energies that arise, they haven't got any name. They've got apparent properties that don't exist in this world, you know, so it's complete mystery, you know. Like it's not about anything that I can discern. It's a total abstraction of just like raw forces,
feelings.
Yeah, if you like. Yeah, if you like. But sometimes they don't necessarily have any emotional content. They might be manifested in the form of vibration through the body, for instance.
Yeah, which you either do or don't feel in how subtly aware are we? How much have we breathed and felt and sensed our own frequency to know what's local and what's coming in from an outer?
Well, see, so I'm dealing and working and harmonizing energies that are nothing to do with me personally. I'm working with somehow some of us have a role to harmonize, if you like, the energy field at large, which seems to be what it's about, although I don't feel the least bit that I'm, you know, sort of saintly or altruistic or anything for doing that. It's just a fascination.
Receiving the experience.
It's just a fascination.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just.
And do you think that's become more prevalent as you get older, or obviously?
Well, yeah, because that didn't come until after my personal Armageddon. Before my personal Armageddon, everything seemed to be like personal crap, you know.
How old was that?
Not so long as about 15 years ago.
In the olden days.
So it was but that transformed me, you know. My fear level dropped to about 5% or 5 or 10% of what it used to be, and I gained a new mind, inspirational channeling mind, rather than a thinking,
analyzing,
cause and effect ego mind.
Yeah.
And then, like, so my personal work since then has been uniting these two minds. My inspirational, instinctive mind sort of informs the surface mind, and that comes in the form of, you know, insights, poems, and this, that, and the other. And at first, there was a big difference between these two minds. If I didn't write down the inspired stuff really quick, it will be lost, like a dream like a dream's lost, you see.
Yeah. Or forgotten.
But now, after, you know, like 15 years of the instinctive subconscious informing the surface conscious mind, they're pretty much one continuous mind. There's no rift between them anymore, you see.
No jolting around.
Yeah.
Electric surges of
so right now, you see, it's me to, you know, this is my entire mind talking, you see. This is,
thank you.
You know, inspired, intuitive, deep mind, completely in unison with the surface ego mind, if you like. You know.
Well, what's the most egotistical experience you've had today?
I don't really see it like that anymore.
It was a bit of an open.
You know, ego's being a thing apart. You see, it used to seem like it was a psychic parasite of some sort that whispered in there, you know, sort of basically caused trouble and fucked everything up, you know, and something to be got rid of.
It's a thing you can adhere to, isn't it, as well? It's like you can choose whether to get involved in that spiralling information, something. Yeah,
so I've lost... it happens to a lot of people at my time in life. You regain innocence. You lose any sense of agenda or wanting to manipulate the world in any particular way, or persuade any response to yourself, you see. And in the face of that, ego sort of is disempowered, because that's all it's good for. All it's good for, it holds a separation and a falsehood, really.
On another level, it kind of it's a full ego as opposed to some sort of separation or personal. It becomes an ego, meaning I in Latin. I am, exactly. Yeah. So it becomes this by uniting those two minds, like you say, or the two hemispheres of the brain, the up, the down, the left, the right, the spectrum of life. It comes back to an option for this centered point, or eye of the storm, 0 point, or void within it all.
That's my one of my spiritual names that somebody gave me was Tathagata, and that's what it means. It means like the eye of the storm, the still point, with the tornado flying around.
Super grateful to share that.
Yeah. But you see, if you journey to the source, and there's an undifferentiated vastness with no separate observer, then that is the I am.
I think we'll end there.
You see,
I think we'll press pause.
Okay. It's a good point. Yeah.
It's very, very, very wonderful to see you, Martin.
All the forces of darkness and light, the angels and demons, went to war in my psyche, basically, and it was wild. Fortunately for me, the good guys won. It was an avalanche of fear and inspiration. You regain innocence. You lose any sense of agenda or wanting to manipulate the world in any particular way, or persuade any response to yourself, you see. And in the face of that, ego sort of is disempowered. That hard metallic band of fear, fallen away. The thick and sticky syrup of emotion, fallen away. I am without weight or substance, yet solid in a different way. I have walked through the gate, a king in my mythical land. My spirit kisses and is softly kissed. Warm and scented airs waft around and through me. Birdsong makes love to my ears, iridescent plumage touching my eyes. My soul is washed by the lap of warm tides. Sunlight on golden sand caresses. A gladness is in me, so soft, so sweet, so deep.